Yan. At Fort Santiago. History.
Intramuros remained hidden in Rome, a ravaged victim of a brutal world war. But slowly, the city that was once the jewel of an empire emerged from the rubble. Built in the 16th century by labor conscripted from the Filipino and the Chinese communities, the edifices were elegant adaptations of European structures to the tropical materials and environment. For over 3.5 centuries, Intramuros was the center of a new nation, cobbled by the Spanish colonizers from the diverse islands and cultures of the Philippine archipelago. The walls are what characterize this historic heritage. These encompass the original city of Manila and gave her the distinctive feature as well as the name Intramuros, within the walls. The 4.5-kilometer wall completely enclosed the city, averaging almost 6 meters high and 4.5 meters thick. It presented a redoubtable barrier against foreign invasions and local uprisings. Built from
Yung Fort Santiago,
the walls have endured to this day. And today, through the efforts of the Intramuros administration, almost all of the damaged parts of the walls have been repaired or restored. Secure gates allowed entry to the walled city. Or the Royal Gate, was the main portal and led to the Governor General's residence and to the cathedral. The landscape garden at Puerto Real has become an alfresco venue for concerts and other events that showcase Philippine culture. Postigo del Palacio was the small gate for the exclusive use of the Governor General and the Archbishop. Was the principal gate leading to the Chinese district, where trade and commerce flourished. Puerta Santa Lucia was built in the 17th century. To allow access to the Malecon, the promenade by the shore of the Manila Bay. Was opened in 1861 to ease the increasing traffic between Intramuros and the rising commercial district of Binondo. Puerta Almacenes, beside Aduana, the customs house, was for access to the wharf, which in turn was the gateway for the opulent galleon trade. Laid out according to the best battle plans of the time, the walls of Intramuros are fortified by layers of defenses. Bulwarks, or baluartes, are wide platforms along the walls. Batteries of cannon were positioned on top, and powder magazines below.
Cañón, no?
San Andres. San Francisco de Milano. San Gabriel. And Santiago. Which was breached when the British invaders captured Intramuros in 1762. Ravelins, or Revelines, provided cover for the gates.
Ano po ito iupo mo dyan, oh. Patong mo. Ayan, oh.
The redoubts, or reductos, are small but well-armed independent structures outside the walls that could fire on the advancing enemy or those that have breached the walls. The main garrison was Fort Santiago, strategically located in the mouth of the Pacific. Built on the remains of the palisade of Soliman, the Raja of Manila, who defied the Spanish when they landed in 1570. Fort Santiago protected by its
O yan, ang Ilog Pasig.
moat. When the Philippines was sold to the United States in 1898, the Americans made their
1898.
headquarters.
World War
Fort
I.
Santiago now houses the Intramuros Visitor Center, the Audiovisual Theater, Museum Shop, the Almacenes Reales as a venue for functions, and the museum that showcases memorabilia of the Philippine national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. In the works, the reconstruction of the American Barracks as a restaurant. As a capital of Spanish colonial Philippines, Intramuros was the hub of government, religion, and culture. The Palacio del Gobernador was the residence of the Governors General. The Ayuntamiento housed the colonial administrative offices. During the American occupation at the turn of the 20th century, it became the legislative building of the Philippine Commonwealth. Aduana, the customs house at the docks. Intendencia, the public treasury. These historic buildings, scheduled for restoration, will significantly add to the character of present-day Intramuros. Intramuros was also the seat of the Catholic Church, the other prime mover of colonization. The Manila Cathedral was the grandest building and evolved through the centuries as it suffered fires, earthquakes, and invasions. Here the missionaries, the vanguards of the Catholic faith, built their best churches and convents. Among them, Santo Domingo, San Ignacio, San Francisco, Recoletos, Lourdes. Only San Agustin survived the ravages of the last World War. And they established schools, such as the University of San Tomas, the Ateneo Municipal, San Juan del Gran, among others. From these schools emerged the intellectuals who would defy the colonizers. The residences adapted to the tropics. Wooden columns that resisted earthquakes better than stone foundations. Large windows for maximum ventilation. Steep roofs to shed torrential rains. The best examples have been rebuilt in Plaza San Luis, a cluster that includes Casa Manila. As the commercial metropole of Asia, Intramuros allowed its residences to be showcases for the unique melding of cultures. Here, the works of Philippine craftsmen stood side by side with those from Europe and Asia. The flavor of old Intramuros has been maintained by the restoration of other structures and by designing new buildings in the colonial style. Intramuros has survived ravages of time, natural disasters, wars, and neglect. As it has done so many times in her past, she is again on another threshold in her evolution. The parks and public places within the enclave are being revitalized. Aside from the calesas, motorized tranvías are available for leisurely tours. A full schedule of cultural art events are slated yearly in the different venues within the walled city. A new maritime museum will rise to house the rich though largely undiscovered nautical tradition of the Philippines. The Church of San Ignacio will be reconstructed and made into a museum for the ecclesiastical collection of the Intramuros administration. As she has done so many times in her past, Intramuros, the walled city, rises again, steadily shedding off the veil that has concealed her charm, revealing to us and the following generations a priceless heritage that resounds through the centuries.
Tapos, ayun pa siguro. Early 1900. Kalabaw pa, oh. San Francisco Church. Santo Domingo Church. Dapat may kalabaw rin dito. Granata. Labas muna tayo para pandagdag. Wala. Labas muna tayo.